I'm going to show you around the IAnet portal so you'll have all the tools that you'll need to manage your assignments. So first thing we'll need to do is go to ianetwork.net in a Microsoft Edge browser on a Windows machine. The uploads for documents and photos will only work through File Connect, which can only run on Edge. So we'll want to make sure that we're using that browser. That is typically the default browser that comes included with Windows machines. It is the green and blue swirl icon. And if you don't have it, you can just search Microsoft Edge download in whatever other browser you do have and download it that way. Once you have that browser, you can go to ianetwork.net and click on Login. And then you can go ahead and put in the credentials that were given to you and hit Sign In. From your dashboard, you should see something that looks similar to this. So you'll have your open assignments shown by count in work list waiting and completed, your assignment volume trend over the last 12 months, and then the vacations card where you can hit the plus sign to request a vacation. It's pretty straightforward from there. But mostly this is the page that you'll use to get to your work list. So if you want to go to your active assignments, you can click on either of the two cards, or you can click on work list from the menu on the left. It'll take you to the same place. So your work list, your waiting items, and your completed all function exactly the same, but they are filtered differently or sorted differently based off of where the assignment is at. So for example, if it's a new file or if it's an file that you've accepted, it's going to be in your work list. Once you complete it, it's going to go to your completed queue. And if anything additional is needed or changes are needed, it'll get sent back to you and go into waiting items. And then you'll complete it from there and it'll go back to completed queue. So that's how they'll bounce around. So from any of your queues, primarily your work list, you can check the box and accept them. I believe you can only accept from the work list because waiting items or completed would not need to be accepted. You can also reject them from here and give us a reason why. Outside of coverage, overloaded, on vacation, out of town, whatever reason, just go ahead and let us know. You can accept it from here and that'll just let us know that you've acknowledged it, or you can reassign it to a specific appraiser if you would like, and it'll put their contact info as the handling appraiser so we can reach out to them for status updates instead of whoever is the default contact for that coverage area that the file is in. You can also hit print. So if you want to, let's say you're going to go see these 4 assignments today, you can hit print and it's going to generate this info sheet where you can view the claim info, owner info, vehicle info, and assignment comments, which would just be facts of loss, just the facts, man. If you hit print, it's going to separate each assignment out into its own page, just like so. And then you can either send that to a PDF, send it to a printer, however you want to use that. That is an option for you. A couple other quick things outside of the queues. We have our master forms list up here. So that is currently showing 247. That number will change, but these are every form that we have available sorted by carrier. Some of them are CCC forms for auto assignments or some IAnet specific forms, but typically they're by carrier. The specific place that you would really go for those is going to be under forms here. So these will be filtered based on assignment type and carrier. So for an example, if you're a property auditor only, then you're going to have property specific forms. If you do property and auto, you're going to have different auto forms for an auto assignment. And then they'll definitely, if different carriers have different forms, then they'll change by that as well. We also have carrier guidelines here. You can click on that and expand the guidelines for whichever carrier it's assigned to. These are the same information that's included in the assignment email. So links to these forms are included in the email, and the guidelines are just laid out in that email as well. And these are just here for your reference. We'll come back to the work list so we can go through uploading an assignment, but I do want to show you the status page. So from here, you can see all of your open assignments. So this would not include completed assignments, but it should include waiting items. So we have some that are in progress, some that we've scheduled. These are our test assignments, so these are not actual production assignments that you'll have. But for our purposes, you can select something from quick status. So most common will probably be left message. But let's say we did schedule this one. We can do appointment set for, and then you can actually add to that. Let's say it's set for tomorrow. afternoon. Or you can just go ahead and type something in from scratch. Let's say we emailed the owner, sent owner. Could spell that, probably be helpful. There we go. So let's say we want to update these 1, 2, 3 assignments. It is kind of behind that live chat button, so you can either zoom out or you can just kind of hover just a tiny bit above it. But when you hit update, it's going to send those through. So we can see left message, appointment set for tomorrow afternoon, and then sent owner an email. So those are the 3 that we had sent through. If for some reason you don't see your status being reflected under the last status column, go ahead and just hit update again, and that should force it through, and then you should see your message showing under last status. So we went through dashboard status, our queues, search claims. You can type in a file number up here and search it that way. Appointments is kind of a duplicate of the status page, but specifically it has a time and date picker. And we really don't need it to be this precise. Morning, afternoon, evening, just so we can kind of have some idea is probably all you need. I think status is better from a convenience standpoint because you can tell us when you have appointments as well as status the rest of your files that you should hopefully be following up on every day as well. So I would recommend status over appointments page. Receivables will be helpful. You can enter a date range that you want to see assignments completed. A range for assignments that you completed during that time. Put in your account number, and then it'll separate those out by the check if it's been paid or not, and then you can review those there. If you have additional appraisers underneath you or next to you or working with you, you can add new appraisers by clicking on this button. The hover says refresh, but it does bring up this form that you can enter all the info in for a new appraiser, or you can edit info for existing appraisers. You can also click on your name on the top right and then click account, and you can edit your info that way. Coverages is really important because you can update your coverage directly from the portal yourself. It's a lot easier than trying to convey what changes you want to our vendor service team. So there is this self-service page here. So what you'll do is select the coverage area that you want to make changes to, and then it'll show you your mileage range and your specifically approved coverage areas. Then we have a couple different tools with how we can interact with that. So the simplest one to delete coverages, you can hit delete and then select it. So let's say this is outside of our range. We can just go ahead and hit delete and hit save. And then it doesn't delete it directly. It actually sends a request to vendor services to have that deleted. So it's not going to be removed right away, but if we refresh, we can see that it's still red because it has been marked for deletion. Other than deleting coverage areas, we can add coverage as well. So the different tools for that are circular coverage, which is the simplest. So it allows you to create a circle. So let's say, this is already a pretty big circle that covers the entire state of Arizona, but let's say I'm covering the Albuquerque, New Mexico area. So you can zoom in, find your start point, click and drag out, and it'll tell you how wide your radius is. So let's say I'm covering 20 miles in Albuquerque, like that. And then once you let go of the mouse, it'll do that. And if you do click, it'll create a new circle. So be aware of that. But you can always undo any changes you've made and start over. Polygon coverage will allow you to create a custom shape. So you can click and drag with this one, unlike the circular coverage, and zoom in. And the idea is kind of you want to get your area. So let's say instead of just a circle, I want to do this area inside the 40, the 25, in this area. So I can click to create a point, and it'll give me a line. So I can do that, and then do that. I can kind of follow the highway this way, come over here, down here, over here. So I'm going to go all the way around here, up here, and then when you right click, it'll take you off that point. So let's say I actually did want to include this little area over here. So you can hit edit coverage, select the polygon you want by left clicking, then you can drag and adjust those. You can also click in between any points and pull them out. So let's say I want to make sure I cover this area outside the 85. I can grab this point in the middle, drag out here, and it'll create a new middle point that I can drag out here, and now that's included. And then once you're done, you can hit Save Changes, and that will go ahead and submit that request. You can also edit existing polygon coverages, so if you hit Edit Coverage and tap on an existing shape, it should do the same thing. There we go, where you can move existing points or add new points and pull out. Again, every time you grab a middle point and pull out, it'll create one or two new midpoints, depending on where that's at. I guess it would be two, since there would be one on each side, and then you can adjust that way. So that's it for coverages. We don't really put anything in reports or messages. Same thing, we don't put any in these icons here. So that's pretty much the overview of the features in the portal. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. YouTube doesn't let me go over 15 minutes, and I want to separate out the uploading specifically for property and non-CCC uploads. So there will be a separate video on that if that's what you're looking for, but you should at least have gotten the overview for the portal. If you have any questions, you can email support@ianetwork.net or give us a call at the number on the screen, or any of the other departments depending on what question you have. Thank you.